Hi folks, welcome to one more episode of SCMDOJO Knowledge. Today I'm going to talk about 7 characteristics of genuine or authentic leaders. I've worked with a lot of leaders. I've worked with very good leaders who has done great things. I have worked with not so good leaders who's actually trying really ruin the things as well. And I've worked with leaders who are indifferent, right? But I have noticed about 7 characteristics of which is common in all the successful leaders in my experience, right? I mean, leadership is a big topic. There's tons of books there. You can read a lot of materials, but this is me sharing my experience with you. Why I'm sharing it here? Especially in front of the Expo 2020, because this kind of event, this kind of gigantic events, which really making a difference in people's life, does not happen without a genuine leadership. So let's crack on with the first one. Genuine leaders are authentic leaders. They are very much self-aware. They know what they are good at. They also know what they are not good at, right? So they basically try to build on their strengths and try to complement their, let's call it, weaknesses or the things they are not good at, right? So people have personality types, the famous, red, blue, green. I think you should do a test. You find out what personality type you are. So for example, if I'm a red person, I have a slightly low patience, be bright, be brief, be gone. So if I'm meeting somebody who is yellow or green, they like to know, okay, hello, happy Monday, how was the weekend? So that means I need to be aware of this, that, I need to be, for example, compensate or, deal with that person according to their personality type. So with the same token, genuine leaders or authentic leaders, they know their leadership style. They autocratic or they're paternalistic, right? Or they are more democratic in nature. So that, let's call it, leadership style, help them to convey their message, show the vision, right? So it's all about knowing yourself, know what kind of person are you and what kind of leader are you, right? The second quality is a genuine leader have. They always think beyond the moment and they always have a long-term vision in mind. Take again example of the whole idea was to bring business people in, make it like a multicultural event. So what's going to happen here is this will become an office space, right? So the investment was done with the long-term vision in mind, and that could apply to your corporate, that could apply to your business, that could apply to your own job. So if you are a supply chain manager or your operations director or chief operating officer, what is important here is what is the long-term vision you have. And okay, it's good to have a long-term vision and basically go beyond the moment, but what is also important is to communicate with people, right? And I always believe that you do things operationally on a day-to-day basis. You have all the day-to-day problem, but at the same time you have to keep in mind how my function, how my team, how my department will look in 2 years time and 3 years time. I always believe that if you, whatever job you're doing, you should leave that job better than you actually find it, right? And the way you only going to do that is always about thinking beyond the moment. So the third and the most important quality for me about the genuine leadership, the genuine leaders lead with their heart, right? It doesn't mean their emotion and all that. It means they show the positive intent they carry as a person and inside their heart. So I can tell you a story about one of my favorite bosses named Leo Hayes. He was a plant manager. He was a genuinely very, very good guy, right? And the reason I found him a genuine leader because he was very, very honest and positive about giving feedback. So when he used to get angry, and for example, if we're not doing our job properly or we're messing around or whatever, he used to throw pens at people. So and I like it. I don't want people to be stiff and being cold and basically not showing any emotions all the time. That means, I don't know, if you're a super cold person, that's the way you are, right? But mostly humans are made of some kind of emotion, right? So there has to be some kind of genuine feeling about how you feel. If you're angry, right? And my advice here is, as a genuine leadership, is don't mix, I work in UK and this was pretty much common by people saying, they used to say, oh, Muddassir, you're super good, blah, blah, blah. However, this thing you're going to improve because this is something that's not right. However, you're doing a very good job. So now I'm confused, right? So are you telling me I'm good or I'm not good? What is the feedback here? So it's kind of confusing. And I don't find that kind of sandwich feedback genuine because you're not really clear. You're not happy about something, but that's fine. But just tell me, right? So I can improve upon it. So genuine leaders don't sandwich the bad news with the good news. If something has done a good job, just tell them they've done a good job, right? So show emotion, be genuine in your feedback. Number 4, genuine and authentic leaders are very much result focused. They are very much mission driven. And in supply chain, as we know, we are very much a result-oriented function, right? For us, we have to make sure we hit the on-time delivery, we hit our inventory targets, we hit our, reduce our lead time, make our supply chain more agile. All of them are very much result-oriented expectation, right? And that's a good thing, right? So that makes us basically that makes supply chain a very good function to display our leadership, right? So if you are not really a result driven person, right, and a bit more leisurely approach, generally in operations world is not going to fly, right? In my experience as well, the really great, let's call it VP or GM I worked with, most of them, all of them actually are very much result driven, right? And they know we have to hit our target on a daily basis, weekly basis, yearly basis. We need to hit our budgets. Therefore, they are focusing on SNOP process, KPI driven approach, right? Which is the right thing to do in the supply chain world. Number 5, all genuine leaders maintain a constructive relationship and they are very collaborative people. And in supply chain, as we know, we work with our internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, suppliers, customers, and this approach of being collaborative and having a constructive approach is important. So if you're one of those people who are just pissing off people and fighting, you're not going to last too long, especially in supply chain or in business in general, right? So genuine leaders, which I have seen, they have an approach, maybe in their own style. They are very, very collaborative. They are very, very constructive, and they encourage the teamwork. In some cases, they probably encourage teamwork more than others, but I think that's the right thing to do. Number 6, genuine leaders or authentic leaders, they maintain self-confidence and self-esteem of others, right? That means they give other people confidence, right? They encourage them, they allow them to make mistakes, right? They are act as a mentor and tell them, for example, if they make a mistake, how they're going to rectify it and how they're going to come strongly, because it's very important, especially if you're a young manager. You generally do tend to have this tendency, try to pinpoint people on people's mistake, and that is I would not recommend you to do, right? And all the great leaders or I work for, they are always very constructive. They want to give you feedback. They follow the structured process. For example, they tell you this is what they have observed, this is basically the impact of the business, and they're gonna work with you together, how we're gonna improve it going forward. And that makes you feel good, that makes you feel better about yourself. So you trust your manager or a leader by saying, he or she have a good intention about me and they want me to improve, to better basically follow their advice. Last one, number 7, which is the most famous one, that all genuine leaders lead by example. And again, I want to give an example of Leo here. I remember he was an ops director, and we have to do the stock take. He doesn't really have to come, but he comes in his jeans and he helps us out in the stock take. In one more story, when I was in Birmingham, we have a very multicultural team environment. So we made a request, can we open a mosque, for example? And then he himself followed through that project. And to the extent that he went in and see if the praying place for the community in Birmingham, which is Muslim, is the right thing to do or not. So that, again, huge respect for Leo in that plan, because he showed a genuine leadership and he led by example. He said he's going to do it. He did make sure he went there. He sees himself, right? And he does it all the time. At the end of this video, I'd like to share 2 of my favorite quotes on leadership. Now, the first one is, leaders create more leaders, not followers. So in your leadership journey, try to create more leaders. So basically, when you're going up in your career, there's always that, career goes up and down. So if you're going down, the leaders or the trees you have basically planted in will help you actually surviving or not going down further. And that's we have seen in people's life, right? Career goes up and down. The second one is, to become a good leader, you need to learn how to follow yourself, right? And if you know how to follow a genuine leader or somebody you think you can look up to, there is a good chance you will yourself become a good leader with the passage of time. In SCMDOJO, we try to help the SCM community to bring a good content, knowledge videos. There is a course done by Ala on leadership. Please go and have a look. He's done a very fantastic job and basically covering the leadership for the supply chain people or ops leader very much in general. So if you like what we're doing here at SCMDOJO, like, share and subscribe the channel, share with your friends so they can learn as well. Keep it simple, keep it real. Ciao.